What's up, baseball fans? Frank from Frank's Card Corner here. Today we're going to take a look at a sticker album that I have from the early 1980s. It's actually the premiere and first edition of the Topps Baseball sticker album that they put out, I think, all through the 80s and into the 90s. I'm not sure if they still put it out today, but this is the first one they ever put out back in 1981. Let's take a look. Okay, so we look at the inside cover. I have a white piece of paper on the bottom of the left side. Actually, I had my name and address written there as a kid. I actually put this together when I was about 10 years old. It came out, like I said, in 1981. On the inside cover, you see they just list the all-time record breakers in each category: batting average, hits, stolen bases, and home runs, and a lot more, which is pretty cool. The album itself, I think on the cover it said it was 25 cents, and you can buy packs of 5 stickers at a time, I think for 10 cents or something like that. So what they did was they made all these empty slots on all these pages, and you would buy the stickers and just fill in the blanks pretty much. So let's take a look at the album here. We're starting off here with the pitching leaders in 1980s. You have Mike Norris, Steve Stone, Rudy May, Goose Gossage. This is all the wins leaders, strikeout leaders, ERA leaders. And we move on to the 1980 batting leaders. We have Rickey Henderson, Willie Wilson, Cecil Cooper, George Brett, Gorman Thomas among the home run leaders, Reggie Jackson. And the batting leaders in 1980 for the National League, we have Mike Schmidt and Keith Hernandez shown there. There's also Omar Marino and Bob Horner. Moving on to the National League pitching leaders here again, we have Nolan Ryan, Steve Carlton, Don Sutton, Bruce Sutter with the saves as the saves leader. And on to the Baltimore Orioles here. Jim Palmer, Eddie Murray, Steve Stone, who was the Cy Young Award Cy Young Award winner, I believe, in 1980. And here we move on to the Boston Red Sox. A lot of Hall of Famers here. We have Jim Rice, there's Freddie Lynn, Carl Yastrzemski, Tony Perez, Dennis Eckersley on that team, Carlton Fisk. This is actually a really good page of stickers here. On to the California Angels, Rod Carew in the top left, Rick Burleson, Don Baylor, Bobby Grich, Brian Downing. There's the Chicago White Sox and the Cleveland Indians. You guys can pause the video at any time. I'm just going to kind of move a little quickly here just to keep the video going. Feel free to pause and take a look at any of the stickers that you want. A lot of good old players in here. There's Kirk Gibson. This is actually his rookie year. Jack Morris and Alan Trammell and Lou Whitaker. Popular second base shortstop combo back in the 80s. Moving on to the Kansas City Royals. They actually have the team stickers here because the Royals were the World Series champions back in 1980, which was the year before this book came out. You see George Brett's sticker up there. On to the Milwaukee Brewers, Robin Yount, Paul Molitor, Cecil Cooper. Over to the Minnesota Twins, Scott Erickson. Was that Scott Erickson? Roger Erickson, I'm sorry. Scott Erickson would come along back later on in the 1990s. Here is the New York Yankees, who I believe went to the World Series in 1981, faced the Los Angeles Dodgers. You see there's Reggie Jackson, Bucky Dent, Ron Guidry, Goose Gossage. And onto the Oakland A's, there's the second year of Rickey Henderson right there, 1981. 1980 was his rookie year. In the center here, we have gold foil stickers, actually. These represent the All-Star team from 1980. There's the American League All-Stars and the National League All-Stars. The National League had gold foil, the American League had silver foil. Again, you guys can pause the video, take a look at them if you want. On to the Seattle Mariners. Actually, I think there's Bruce Bochy up in the upper left. Managed the Padres and Giants, one of the most successful managers of the last 10 to 15 years. Texas Rangers. On to the Toronto Blue Jays, there's Dave Stieb, Jim Clancy, Damaso Garcia. Atlanta Braves, Phil Niekro, Bob Horner, Dale Murphy. They didn't have the full team on these pages. They just basically picked the top 8 or 10 stars on the team. Kind of threw it around in a scrapbook sort of format. On to the Chicago Cubs, Dave Kingman, who would, the year before in 1980, had led the National League in home runs with 48. And on to the Cincinnati Reds, you see Johnny Bench and George Foster and Tom Seaver there. Kind of like the way they did this with the scrapbook format here. And actually, where they list the teams, you could see they list the name of the stadium that the team played in, how much the seating capacity was, and it lists all the World Series and pennants that they won, which is pretty cool. So they throw some nice fun stats in there. As we look at the Houston Astros, there's Nolan Ryan, Joe Niekro, the Dodgers, who would go to the World Series this year, I believe, against the Yankees. Dusty Baker, Steve Garvey, Ron Cey, and Davey Lopes. Dodgers had a great team back then. On to the Expos with Gary Carter, Warren Cromartie, Ron LaFleur. And is Tim Raines here? No Tim Raines yet. Here's Andre Dawson. Tim Raines, this was actually his rookie year, but they don't have a sticker for him yet. The New York Mets here with Lee Mazzilli, Neil Allen, Pat Zachary, John Stearns. And on to the Philadelphia Phillies, who were the World Champions the previous year, so they get their team depicted in stickers there, just like the Kansas City Royals, who met them in the World Series. A bunch of Hall of Famers on here. We got Pete Rose right here, Mike Schmidt, Steve Carlton. And on to the Pittsburgh Pirates over here. We have Willie Stargell, Omar Marino. Moving on to the St. Louis Cardinals, Keith Hernandez, Darrell Porter, Bruce Sutter. San Diego Padres, Gene Richards. There's a second or third year Ozzie Smith right there. He was only in his second or third year with the Padres. His rookie year was 79. This is 81. And we finish off with the San Francisco Giants. Vida Blue, Larry Herndon, Jack Clark, one of the premier power hitters of the National League. And they have an advertisement in the back here. If you were missing any stickers, you could send in a few wrappers with a self-addressed stamped envelope. And they would send you, for $1, they would just send you whatever couple of stickers you need to complete your album. I believe the one sticker I needed was on the Indians. I think it was Rick Wise. So I sent away for him, and there was like another foil all-star that I need. And on the back, they feature a couple of Hall of Fame players here. Jim Palmer, George Brett, and Reggie Jackson, with just a couple of testimonials basically to just, sell the book to kids and stuff. So that's the 1981 premiere edition of the Topps Baseball Sticker Album. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and check out my other videos.